She held the capsule in her hand, the same one she had trusted for years, believing it was keeping her stronger, safer, and sharper. The label promised protection and vitality, the kind of words that convince anyone to swallow without hesitation. But behind that promise may be a risk no one ever mentioned, a silent danger building quietly inside the body. For many seniors, what looks like a daily act of prevention can turn into the very trigger of problems they never expected. The reality is that after 60, the body no longer responds to supplements the same way it once did. What seems harmless in small print can suddenly thin the blood too much, harden arteries, or even cloud the mind with dizziness and forgetfulness. These changes don't announce themselves loudly. They creep in slowly, often mistaken for nothing more than age catching up. And that's exactly what makes them so dangerous. They blend into everyday life until it's too late. This is why today's message matters. There are vitamins many people over 60 take every single day, unaware of the hidden consequences waiting beneath the surface. In this video, you will uncover which ones may put your memory, your circulation, and even your independence at risk. Stay with me until the very end, because the last point could be the difference between losing clarity and protecting the moments that matter most. The hidden danger of vitamin E. Vitamin E has long been sold as a powerful antioxidant, praised for its ability to fight free radicals and support the heart and brain. For years, people have been told it was one of the safest choices, a simple way to add an extra layer of protection. But for seniors, especially those over 60, the story isn't so simple. In higher doses, vitamin E can thin the blood to a dangerous level, turning what should be a protective shield into a silent threat. What looks like a friend to your health can quickly become a hidden enemy when the dose tips too far. The risk lies in the way vitamin E interacts with your body's natural clotting system. Blood needs to clot to protect you from even the smallest injuries, but when it's too thin, a small vessel can rupture inside the brain. That's when dizziness, sudden weakness, or even memory confusion can strike. Symptoms that often go unnoticed or get blamed on just age. Yet behind these subtle signs could be the early warning of a stroke, a life-altering event connected to something as ordinary as a daily supplement. For Maria, who trusted her capsules for years, the warning signs started small. Easy bruising, moments of fogginess, and sudden headaches that didn't match her usual rhythm. Carlos, her son, thought it was stress, until he discovered the truth about high-dose vitamin E. This isn't about fear, but about awareness. Knowing how much is safe and when too much becomes dangerous is the key. Because when it comes to brain and heart health, even a single pill can tip the balance toward clarity or catastrophe. Vitamin D. From bone strength to artery damage. Vitamin D is often called the sunshine vitamin, praised for building stronger bones and protecting the immune system. Doctors recommend it, pharmacies highlight it, and many seniors take it daily without a second thought. But what most people don't realize is that too much vitamin D can do the exact opposite of what it promises. Instead of protecting, it can quietly push calcium into places it doesn't belong. Not into the bones, but into the arteries. And when arteries start to harden with calcium, the brain and heart are the first to pay the price. This process, called calcification, turns flexible vessels into stiff, fragile pipes. Blood struggles to flow, pressure builds, and the risk of clots and strokes rises dramatically. A senior might notice nothing at first, maybe just mild headaches, fatigue, or shortness of breath, all of which can be brushed off as just aging. Yet underneath, every extra pill is layering calcium where it shouldn't be, creating silent blockages that could one day lead to a sudden collapse or loss of memory. For Maria, it felt harmless, a capsule to strengthen her bones during the winter. But Carlos noticed she was more tired, sometimes forgetting simple tasks. Only later did he learn that her vitamin D dose was far above the safe level. The truth is not that vitamin D is bad, it's that the wrong dose without medical guidance can turn it into a hidden danger. The same vitamin that should protect independence can quietly steal it if not taken carefully. Awareness, not fear, is what keeps the balance. Niacin, vitamin B3, and the silent overload. Niacin, also known as vitamin B3, is often praised for lowering cholesterol and boosting energy. For years, it has been marketed as a heart protector, and many believe that taking more will bring greater benefits. But for people over 60, high doses of niacin can quietly become a hidden trap. Instead of protecting the heart, excess niacin can strain the liver, raise blood pressure, and cause sudden flushing or dizziness, symptoms that can easily be mistaken for just getting older. The danger is that these early signs, red skin, pounding heartbeat, sudden fatigue, are often brushed aside. A senior may think they're just tired, or that the warmth in their face is nothing unusual, without realizing their body is reacting to an overload. Over time, this silent stress can increase the risk of stroke or affect brain function, leading to forgetfulness and confusion that resemble early dementia. What looks like an innocent supplement may actually be quietly undermining both heart and memory health. For Maria, a simple change in supplements had unexpected consequences. Within weeks, she felt unusual fatigue and sudden heat rushing through her skin. Carlos thought it was just age catching up, but later they discovered niacin was behind it all. What seemed like extra energy was, in reality, a slow drain on her body. That's why understanding dosage and knowing the limits of every vitamin is so critical. Because the line between help and harm is far thinner than most people realize. Vitamin A and B6, the forgotten risks. Vitamin A is often seen as the vision vitamin, essential for healthy eyes and immunity. But what few realize is that too much vitamin A, especially in supplement form, can quietly turn toxic. In seniors, the liver struggles to process the excess, and the results can be dangerous. Headaches, dizziness, blurred vision, and even pressure inside the brain that feels like confusion or memory loss. What looks like a harmless capsule for stronger eyesight may actually be opening the door to mental fog and instability. Vitamin B6 carries a similar hidden risk. While it plays a role in nerve health, high doses over time can damage those very nerves. Tingling in the hands and feet, loss of balance, or a creeping sense of weakness may begin to appear, often dismissed as normal aging. But in truth, it's the body warning of toxicity. For seniors already facing natural nerve decline, too much B6 can speed up the process, leading to deeper issues with mobility and cognition, problems that directly steal independence and clarity. For Maria, it started with simple dizziness and an odd tingling in her fingertips. Carlos thought it might just be fatigue or lack of sleep, but the real culprit was hidden inside her multivitamin. Few people realize that these extra doses are often tucked into daily pills without warning, adding up silently over months and years. That's why awareness matters. Vitamin A and B6 are not enemies, but they demand respect. Because when taken carelessly, they don't just fail to protect, they quietly erode the very strength they were meant to preserve. The safer path: protecting brain and heart health. The truth about vitamins is not that they are all harmful, but that the dose makes the poison. For seniors, the safest path is not to eliminate supplements completely, but to understand which ones are necessary, which ones carry hidden risks, and how to balance them with real food. Calcium, for example, is better absorbed from leafy greens and dairy than from excessive pills. Vitamin D works best when paired with safe sunlight. And antioxidants like vitamin E are far more powerful when they come from nuts, seeds, and oils instead of high-dose capsules. Nature often provides the right amounts without pushing the body past its limits. This is where awareness becomes the true medicine. Regular checkups, simple blood tests, and conversations with a trusted doctor can prevent small imbalances from becoming big emergencies. Seniors who monitor their supplements carefully can protect not only their physical health but also their memory, clarity, and independence. The key is not to chase every pill that promises longevity, but to be intentional, choosing only what the body truly needs. This balanced approach creates safety without giving up the support vitamins can offer. For Maria, it was the shift from blind trust to conscious choice that made all the difference. Once Carlos helped her replace unnecessary supplements with a carefully guided plan, the headaches faded, the dizziness stopped, and her focus returned. It wasn't about fear, it was about knowledge. And that's the message every senior and every caregiver needs to remember. Protecting the brain and heart doesn't start with more pills. It starts with the right ones in the right amounts, guided by truth instead of marketing. That is how you keep your future and your memories safe. She stood in front of the kitchen cabinet, bottles lined up in neat rows, each one promising health, strength, and protection. For years, Maria believed those labels without question, swallowing capsules that she thought were her safety net. But now she knew the truth. Some of those very pills had been quietly working against her, eroding the clarity and independence she cherished most. And that moment of realization wasn't about fear. It was about taking back control, about refusing to let blind trust in a bottle decide her future. So let me ask you, what's in your cabinet right now? Which supplements have slipped into your routine without you ever questioning them? Because memory isn't just a word on a label. It's the laugh of your grandchild, the sound of a familiar song, the comfort of knowing exactly where you are and who you love. These are treasures too valuable to risk on dosages you don't truly need. Every pill is a choice, and some choices can quietly steal what matters most. That's why this isn't the time to wait. Share this video with someone you love who may still believe every vitamin is harmless. Subscribe for answers that aren't built on hype, but on truth. The kind of truth that protects your dignity, your clarity, and your future. Because in the end, what you hold on to isn't just health. It's your story. And no capsule should ever take that away from you.